welcome back to another video. I am Catherine, and today we are going to be talking about the Lisa Gardner series. This is my November wrap-up, and as always, please like and subscribe to my channel, and let's get into these amazing books. So the first one I'm going to be talking about, it is The Perfect Husband, and that one is about a girl named Tess whose husband is a serial killer who's murdered I think they said like 10 women, and he broke out of jail, and Tess was on the run, but she had to leave her daughter with the police in a safe house, and she went to a man named J.T. Dillon, who is helping her train in firearms and self-defense because she wants to keep her daughter safe, and the only way she can do that is with his help because the police can't help. This guy is super smart. He changes disguises. He has a number of different disguises, a number of different outfits to change into, and he was able to get in and out of the police department without them noticing. This one I really recommend it. It's really good. It is a slow burn, which is a little bit slower, but it is a good book. I really enjoyed it, and this is the first book in the FBI Profiler series. It has Pierce Quincy in it. He's not the main character, Tess is, so but I enjoyed it. It was a highly recommended book. Okay, the next book, it is called The Third Victim, and this one, it takes place in Oregon, Bakersfield, Oregon, and this one has Pierce Quincy and Rainey Connor. What I like about Rainey, her character, she is very tough. She is a sheriff's deputy, and she also has a little bit of a background. Her mother was an alcoholic. She is an alcoholic as well, but she has been sober for some time. And what else? What else about her? She is interesting. She is not the kind of person to take people's crap, and she is the first one to call someone out if they're doing something wrong. And this one, there's a lot of that, which I really love her character. And then we have Pierce Quincy, who's an FBI profiler who shows up in Bakersfield after a school shooting. 3 people were killed, and I think a couple kids were injured. One teacher was shot, 2 little girls were killed, and it was the sheriff's son, and that is not a surprise because you find it out in the first chapter of the book. And Quincy and Rainey, they're trying to figure out what really happened, and they're trying to see if what happened is what it was or if there's more to it. So they're investigating the school, they're talking to teachers, they're talking to students, they're talking to the parents, and they are trying to figure out just what happened. There's one part in this book that made me really mad. So the person that showed up at school, I forget his name, person that showed up at school has a little sister named Becky, and they had left, neighbors had left food for him, and it was like a jello salad, and her mom gave her some to eat because she hasn't really been eating since the school shooting because she was there and she saw everything that happened. And as she's eating it, someone put glass in it, so it cut her tongue and stuff like that. It wasn't a lot to make it bad, but like I was just really mad that happened. And like the mom in the book was really sad it happened, so she threw out all of the food out. But yeah, so that was kind of what happened. But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this book. So the next book, it is called The Next Accident. And this one, Pierce Quincy, and it also has Rainey Connor, but it also has his youngest daughter, Kimberly, in this one. His oldest daughter, Amanda, was killed in an accident where she was the drunk driver, and she hit into a pool, and she went flying through the windshield face first. And in the third accident, she was on life support. And this one, she is dead. They took her off the life support. And Quincy doesn't think it was an accident. Quincy thinks that there was someone else in the car with her. So he hires Rainey, who's a private investigator now, and he pays her to basically go looking around and see what she finds. And what she finds is he was basically right. So now they have to keep his youngest daughter safe because they believe that she is the next target. So, and they move her to Oregon to keep her safe, and it doesn't turn out the way they want it to. And that's pretty much all I can tell you about this book. So the next book, it is called The Killing Hour, and this one, it does have Pierce Quincy in it, and Rainey Connor, and it also has Kimberly and a new guy named Mac. McCormick, I think his last name is. And Kimberly is in the FBI Academy. And this takes, I think, a couple years after the third book. And she's having a very difficult time just adjusting, missing her sister, and and the FBI Academy is one of the hardest academies. It's in Quantico, Virginia. And Mac, she meets, and he is trying to follow this serial killer who is going around kidnapping pairs of women, and he would kill one of them and leave clues. Like, they would leave like a grain of salt, sand, tree bark, where the next girl is, but wherever that girl is, there are miles of wilderness. And the first time it happened, I think they only found one girl alive. And now the serial killer is back, and he took 4 girls, and he's taunting the FBI with trying to find them. And they're hoping that they can find it before time runs out. The next book, it is called Gone, and this one, it has Rainey and Quincy in it, and it also has Kimberly and Mac. Rainey goes missing, and her and Quincy are married, and Rainey has relapsed with her drinking, and so she is trying to just survive, I guess. And then she's also on medication for depression. And then she gets taken by someone. And then as you get into the book, another person goes missing. And this little boy's name is Dougie. Rainey is his advocate because Dougie is in the foster care system. And Quincy is trying to find her, and he is really worried about her safety, just about everything in general. And he wants to find her before something really bad happens to her. And the next book in the FBI Profiler series, it is called Say Goodbye. This one I absolutely enjoyed. This one has a lot of layers to it. So this one, it has Kimberly Quincy, and she is 5 months pregnant with her first child, and she is trying to solve a case. But the problem is there are no bodies. So she is trying to find these bodies. She is trying to help one of these girls who is a prostitute. These prostitutes have been missing, and they have not come back. So Kimberly goes, and her husband doesn't want her to work this case because they've been getting phone calls of women being tortured, and it also has to deal with some children in here. This one also talks about kids that are sometimes victimized as children. They sometimes turn into predators themselves if they don't get help right away, or if they have lived with the abuse for years. Some of these kids, so these kids in this book, two are, yeah, well, two of them were taken, and one of them was victimized for years, and then the second one was just recently taken and has been sexually abused. Both of them have been sexually abused, but also it also talks about the physical toll it takes on these kids and how they kind of therapy kind of helps and things like that. And it also has to deal with spiders. So this book, this guy who is a serial killer has a thing for spiders. And when they find the bodies, they are kind of in webbing. So that was kind of interesting to read. And I'm not a big fan of spiders, so this book for me was really creepy just because I don't do spiders. But it might not be creepy for you guys. And it's not very long. It's not very long. But it's a good book. I absolutely enjoyed it. The last book, it is called Right Behind You. And it has to do with Rainey and Quincy. They are fostering a child named, I think it, Charla May Nash, and they are fostering her. And she also has a past. It's kind of similar to Rainey's in a way, but it's still very, very different. But this book takes place, and they're in the process of adopting her. And when her brother Telly has killed, I think 4 people so far. He kills 4 people, and Rainey and Quincy are on the case trying to figure out why he's killing now. And they talk about kind of like I think it's like forensic therapy, is something like that. And they talk about how they categorize kids with the RAD, I think, something like that, RAD system, and how he has some of the qualifications of a spree killer, and just all these other things in this book that are amazing. It also dives a little deep into more of like the child's psychology and what kind of effects Telly killed his parents, so what kind of effects does that have on him? And then Telly and his sister have been separated for many years, and that also has taken a toll on him. And they are trying to figure out why, since he shaved Charla, why is he killing now? They're trying to understand it, and they're also trying to understand it for their foster daughter, because Rainey has a feeling that she's going to ask questions and she wants to know if she's going to turn out like this. So, and they're trying to figure that out. So this is the end of my wrap-up video, guys. As always, please like and subscribe to my channel. And as always, have a safe and happy day. Bye.